Those consultants will be parceled out to meet the community's needs. An in-depth market analysis and study is part of that process. The actual writing of an economic development plan is part of that process. And whatever else we need that is determined as we go forward with all of this. So your questions and concerns are very legitimate, but what I'm telling you is that we're going to have the answers for all of that by the end of this process. And that process is not that far out. I mean, the original goal was to be done by September. We're not going to make that. But I certainly think by the first of the year that we will be ready to implement that plan. And if high-speed internet or Wi-Fi or whatever it is a priority that the group designates, after all of the analysis is done, then somehow we've got to work with that.
Do the analyses, are they only dictated by your guys' suggestions or by the Rising Tide Committee suggestions?
The consultants are going to come in and there's information available right now that we've been provided that shows how much money is spent in the community, how much is lost in the community, how much money is spent out of the community that could be spent here. All of that information is there, but it's a very surface knowledge of it. And the market analysis that our consultants will help us with will delve into that deeper, provide more specifics, and ultimately develop the plan that will meet the needs that we have assessed. Our task right now is to go through the village and determine what sites could use redevelopment. And that doesn't mean that they have to be for sale. That's just identifying building structures, lots, businesses, whatever, the whole gamut. And we're not limited in any way at this point in time. And obviously $200,000 goes a long way, but it doesn't go everywhere. But it is an additional $200,000 that we're going to be able to, $180,000 that we're going to be able to spend on infrastructure.
It doesn't all have to be towards one thing. I think Dan said we might be able to put a new public restrooms and use part of it and part of it for other things, so I'm all for public restrooms.
Yeah, but so I guess
Well, I mean,
where I'm still going is the information that comes in and the research done to say this is the best way to go, is that done by the Rising Tide Committee saying this is what we would like to see done? So they're gonna research that?
The
Or are they
state has
gonna
given,
research
the state has
an
given us
entire
all the
broad-
data, and their consultants are the ones that are really giving us the hardcore facts and figures. We say this is what we may like, and then they search that up, but they're
So
not
they search what
saying.
you guys recommended them to search?
Well,
Vice versa, I mean,
certainly they're going to listen to us
Right, but
because we
they're,
live here, so.
right, so so it's more directed by the Rising Tide Committee than it is the state, correct?
Yeah,
When it comes to the research being
To
done?
a degree, yes.
to a degree,
Okay.
So,
yes.
yeah,
Who has the final say and
We as a council.
this
don't we?
council does.
Well, is some of the considerations that would be not only what new amenities do we add, but the maintenance and the,
Right.
That was what I was thinking
if we
about.
can't afford to maintain
Maintain,
them
why do
and
they
put
send
them
them?
on,
Right.
it makes no sense to put them in.
So
The only
those
thing
are
I-
other
the
things
only thing I
that,
can say to that is that the state of Michigan and the governor's office does not want to see one of these communities of the 10 fail. So if they are coming in, they're spending tons of resources on us. Free of charge, free of charge.
some of the studies I can't imagine which they cost. I mean,
Still, it's a-
One quick question, like you said, you were gonna ask them if some of the money could be spent outside the village, so obviously you have a vision of your head.
Well, we have
What
two
was that
members of the
vision?
community that have projects that they would like to see develop, which will provide jobs for the Central Lake area. And
Can you talk to specifics right
no,
now?
I can't right now.
I can tell you later, I was at one of the meetings where they
Okay.
specifically said why they wanted their Wi-Fi or their high-speed internet.
Well, I don't know, I think that indicators I've gotten from Dan consistently is that it really is a village sort of a situation. If they came back and said it could be spent outside the village, I would be surprised. I mean, I may be wrong, but I'd be pretty surprised by
That
that.
was just a question that I'd asked to get clarified, so if we can't do it, we can't do it. If we can, then we'll have other
I think
options.
Great program, don't get me wrong.
But it's gonna be initially, it's gonna be the upkeep after we get it.
Exactly.
That's what we gotta look at.
They should have a.
So low upkeep
Mm-hmm.
projects.
That's all I have for my report.
It's a good one.
Approval of the bills,
I'll make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
I'll support.
the moved and supported, pay the bills of $33,829.51 prepaids, $6,230.09 payroll, $18,671.15 payables. Total approved, $58,730.75. Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Yep.
Yes.
Yes. New business campground, we got 3 notes from 3 different folks. One of them's complaining about the Wi-Fi twice.
I had, excuse me, I had two complaints on Monday about the same issue, about two people that had been staying up on the top. So we had more complaints than
I can talk a little bit to some of this. When we first initially put the Wi-Fi in, it wasn't designed to support Netflix or the download movies in general, or Hulu or anything. It was more designed for the business person who's staying at our campground. Receive and transmit emails, be able to conduct some business. Right now, I believe we're having a node issue, which is just a mechanical failure of a component, easily replaceable, easily fixable. We also have 2 different options of our internet speed. I believe we are currently at our lowest, and we can raise that internet speed, if I'm correct, unless we're up 1 notch. So, because the more campers we have on it, the slower everybody is. So we designed it and we took the option of the lower upload speed and download speed during off-season, and we designed to upgrade that during the more busy season. I don't know if we ever did or if Rachel was even ever aware of that, but that, you could make a call that would ensure that that is.
So that, Rachel said we pay $150 a month for that service. Who
We
was
would
that
go
through?
up Charter and we'd go up to 200. That's our high
Through
speed.
Charter.
Yes,
okay.
it is a high speed. I believe I believe we jump up to the 200 meg service at $200 or $210, which gives you a 10, Corey, was it a 10 meg down, 5 up, instead of the 5 down, 3 up that we have now?
I don't remember what you have. I think business charter is 65 and 110. I think that's the two that come off the top of my head.
We also have a restriction in our system that only allows so much bandwidth.
2 megs, I believe, is per person.
Right, so there's a lot of adjustments that we can do with the system we have. We do have one failing component that needs to be upgraded, maybe all of them, but still the main component is very viable.
So Charter should be contacted.
It's not Charter, it's us, it's our equipment that's failing. Charter should be contacted to give us the faster speed versus the slower speed we're
Who's
at now.
responsible for maintaining our equipment?
We are,
Who we?
us 7, and when.
I still got a flip phone, man.
And when it fails, it's up to Rachel and Lyle to make sure that the system works. If it fails, Lyle calls Rachel, Rachel gets a hold of whoever needs to be gotten home. That's the way it's worked in the past. Right now, we have a failing component. That failing component needs to be decided probably by the campground committee on, do we want to spend money to upgrade the entire system or just the components?
I got it.
Well, that's something that we should discuss fairly quick. I mean, here we are in the busy camping season. And if you look at the village's website, it says, the Thurston Park website, it says we provide Wi-Fi. It doesn't say you can't download Netflix on Wi-Fi, it says we provide Wi-Fi. So if you're gonna have it on your website that we provide Wi-Fi, and if a guy up on the top works out of his camper, runs his business, we have to provide that service.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. There's only a
But we can't
certain
wait,
service that
we
we
can't
can
wait
provide.
until the 10th of August to make this decision.
I think for that, if it's the matter of $50 a month, going from 150 to 2, and whatever the price of the unit
It's
is, I mean,
roughly-
could we make the decision here tonight? I mean, it is the busy
But
season.
who's gonna
right?
fix those?
We contracted Corey in the past, or Missions Computers, to install that system. They have the service agreement on it for the first year or two, I believe it was, and then we brought it in-house because it was working so well, and when we had problems, we contact Corey or Mission Computers.
Is it password protected or is it?
No, there's a free one down there. There's also the main for the campground manager that didn't seem to work very well last year, so we got him a hotspot. We could, if we upgrade the system and get it working properly, save the money of the hotspot.
No, Corey, is that something that you can go down there and check?
I can go down there, I'd be happy to go down, we can investigate that node, and then we can look and see if the gear needs to be upgraded, it's 4 years old, or if the standards have changed, speeds have changed. I can even quote you on a new system, and I can have it all done in a week.
Beautiful. And Rachel can contact Charter to make sure that we're running the highest speed possible right now. Because that was the initial plan, is that in the busy months, June, through whatever we.
But then we're still, even if Corey goes down and does the job next week, we're still looking at next month before we can make a decision. Can we say here tonight that we would approve up to X dollars for this thing to happen?
Corey, can you give us a,
Well,
Just
to replace the whole system, probably not up to, well, I can say I just did another one that only had 2 nodes. Labor and everything was less, I think it was less than $800. It's a mesh system, it's not just a Wi-Fi repeater.
So why don't you authorize him to fix it and put it under maintenance?
That's what
There
I'm
you go.
trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at. Let's do it.
if it has to be new equipment, do new equipment. Well, we can't spend $1 million doing this, so we do have to cap it.
So we could
But
say,
it is an operational expense. You wanna run this as a business on an operational expense, you
So,
Tell him
we authorize.
Or you have unlimited money, we'll fix it.
I'd like to make a motion that we authorize up to
To
$1,000
repair or
to
replace.
repair or replace the Wi-Fi equipment at the park.
I'll support that.
Well, Corey,
Oh, geez, I'm
Corey,
good.
has-
Corey,
The original system to put in place was around $1,300. So I'm assuming that we may, I mean, if I'm replacing, and let's say costs are the same, then it might maybe be less. Just to throw that out there.
I'll amend my motion to say $1,500, $2,000, up to $2,000 to repair or replace what needs to be, what's not working, anything broken. If something's already working, we don't need to buy another one, right?
And that's our maintenance.
Who would I go to for questions, just out of curiosity? If I have a question.
Larry. Sam.
So we have $2,000.
$2,000.
Motion. Yep, and it was, can I ask a couple more questions? Corey, if we were to approve 2,000, could you replace the entire system with a better than a 3-node system that we have now?
Well, it's up to Larry if he wants 802.11n or 802.11ac. And you want multiple,
I got one of those flip phones.
I'm certain the equipment's improved, and so whatever we put in will be a better system, but there may be degrees of that, where we purchase, spend another $30 per node, we may get the next standard, which will give us more throughput. So,
I would not be in favor of replacing the whole system, only because we've got other things on the table that may fix all of it.
well, maybe,
So,
do you wanna go through?
Maybe it's we only need the node thing and we increase the speed with Charter for
Let's go
50
back,
bucks.
let's say that $1,000 and just, we either replace the node and the speed thing, and let's see where we're at there.
Okay.
Going to my original motion of $1,000 to repair or replace whatever is broken down there.
You don't need it. All you're doing is fixing something under repair and maintenance. That's why you budget repair and maintenance money.
There you
You
go.
approve Sam spending his budget? You're
We don't-
approving
so we
already
don't
spending
have to have
budgeted
a
money.
motion.
It's silly, it's a waste of
Then we
your
don't
time.
have to have a motion for that.
No, come on.
Let's take care of
It's
the
just
problem.
automatic.
Okay, good, fix
Do you
it.
want me to put it
Done,
in?
yes.
Yes. I'll do it next week, or by, in a week.
Do you want a contact person to go with?
Yeah.
Larry? You guys, who do you want?
Larry.
We have another
So I'm
campground issue,
rescinding the motion.
correspondence. Oh,
Both issues.
rescinded. Yeah, it was already done. They'd like, one of them would like us to evaluate the fire pits and also provide 1 to 2 barbecue grills within the park area.
Lyle, you were aware of this? Have you seen this?
No, I haven't seen it. This is news to me.
This fire pit thing, we've talked about this.
I don't know about the fire pit.
About the
but
girl
we are
falling- somebody
upgrading
falling into the fire
pit.
I haven't talked to Drew with hospital. I don't remember talking to somebody did.
Joe, are you talking the camping park or the park?
This is a camping park. Apparently a young lady, a young girl fell in one of the fire pits.
It would be a nephew, so it would be a.
Oh,
nephew.
yeah, third degree burns
Step
on
backwards.
30% of his leg.
Alcohol involved.
No,
This came out a couple of months ago.
nobody
Michelle
has,
sent me a,
nobody has reported any injuries down there to me on the fire.
You see the
June
picture of the
27th.
fire pit that is included for us?
That's
Which,
the,
That come out of the state campground.
yeah, those are state.
oh, these are the ones you want us
This
to
is the one that
install.
she recommends that we put in.
Okay.
These are the ones that have at Barnes Park also. You move, you get them in there, you don't move them.
And I think this is an issue, yeah, this was correspondence, but I think it's a committee conversation.
And barbecue grills.
And
Got it, thanks,
a
Joe.
recommendation back to
I
us.
think the barbecue grill, when we do our park, would be nice to have.
Check with your insurance company, that's why we took them up.
This one is totally new to me. I have not had any reports of burns
What's
whatever.
that big lion, the big grill down there? Is that not used,
That's just a
accessible by
line.
everybody?
no, that's here.
They can't use that.
No?
No, no.
You gotta put like 800 tons of charcoal in there.
That would be a waste.
Well, you can't just like divide it in sections and.
Well, you see the picture of the little one, they want that down in the park area. We used to have them years ago.
Yeah, but Rob said we took them out because it's a liability issue.
That's right.
Did we not, Sam?
We also,
Yeah, but now I
we also
guess,
researched.
I guess
it,
now,
and
now the
says, no,
insurance
it's not.
companies look at it different, because now you're paying liability on everything anyways.
Yeah, our insurance company now says, we researched this here about 3 years ago, putting them in, and they says, no, it's not a problem. Yes, it's a scary thing, if somebody leaves hot coals in it, and a little kid goes up to stick their hand in,
Or
that's
a
a
kid
bad
runs
thing.
into it?
If it's hot, you're right, I mean, that's, but
Well,
liability wise, by our insurance, it's not a problem.
I would like to say one thing about this here. Like I said, nobody's reported anything. And we've got a size problem with those sites down there. We are cutting down from 42-inch ride rings to 32-inch rings to give us a little more room down there. All the replacement rings, Sam is getting me 32-inch wide diameter rings. Now that's got approximately a 6-inch
It's a lot bigger ring.
a lot bigger ring. And it's higher. The thing is, down there, I get a lot of grief over the lights. I tell the people the lights gotta stay on for safety reasons. They still get after me. Now, I don't know what happened down there, but that is one reason those lights are there, is for safety.
What lights are down there?
The LEDs, the perimeter lighting on the campground.
They have to stay on because of safety.
Well, that's yours there, but, you know, I don't recall that name in the computer system.
It's not her, it's, I don't think it was
It's her
her that
nephew.
stayed there. No, I mean, I think it was a family not registered under this person's
They
name.
was camping with, they was up there with.
They were visiting people that were there, I think.
Clark's. Fred
Fred
Clark.
Clark,
All right, then that brings up another factor.
Talk about that campground.
Write that down.
I do,
Melissa writes stuff down for camp, she's the
What?
scribe.
She's
how
my
many complaints
secretary.
do you figure you get on them LED lights?
I probably get maybe 10 a year at the most.
Are they on like, say, what, 4 and 5, and that one by the river there the most, or the?
Oh, it can be any of them, Joe. It can be any of them. It just depends on the mood of the person mostly.
Okay.
Most of the people, they like them for the simple reason that they can sit out there and they don't have to, they've got to lay around their campfire and what have you, they play games under and what have you.
When they got tents, they can't sleep, and, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
We've discussed that
Yeah,
before,
last
some
year,
light
that was a
shining in the
big
guy's
topic.
eyes, there was a long
Yeah.
discussion.
I would investigate the situation about shielding it and everything.
Yes.
but we have got a, this is a safety issue down there, when there's got to be some berms or anything around there, as well as that issue.
So that's on the campground committee.
I got it, I got it, I got it.
The third, communication. It said at last month's meeting, we voted to reinstate a 14-day rule on lakeside campsite sites. When that rule was put in place, it allowed 2 lake sites to be open for extended stay campers. Many families have used this option over the last several years. My question is, was this a possible oversight, or was this intended to eliminate this option for all further campers? Please respond. Somebody has to talk, I can't talk,
We,
I don't have the history behind it, so I don't know.
When we opened this up, and Lyle was involved with it, he says, he came to us because we were not gonna have any extended stays in the park. And he said, I have some people that come in, they like to stay longer. As I showed with the reservations, last month, we had 64 days stays, we had 30-day stays, we had 28-day stays, we had all these others. So we allowed that to be at Lyle's discretion, that he could move that from site to site to site. So that was part of that when we instituted the reservation system. Now this camper is asking, why can't he be one of them people? We made a rule last month that says he cannot stay on site 1 for the season or an extended stay. Why can't he? Why can somebody else? What they're asking is, why do we have it that other people can, but he can't? Why isn't he allowed to? That's what this is stating, that's what the question is.
okay.
So, if Mike, or if this camper can't, why can that camper over there? That's, I mean, that's honestly what they're asking. We're saying, this guy, nah, you're not good enough.
But this is, is
Somebody
this
else
the
can.
person that's already staying on the
Yes.
lake all
We
summer
have
long
got-
anyways?
We have got no strikes down there if they weren't 30 days. That after the
But
last.
if past history has set precedents, I showed you the reservation system from 2 years ago, and yeah, we had 64-day stays, we had 38-day stays, we had 25-day stays. Why is this one person that's asking this different? Why can't he be one of them extended stays? That's the question,
I don't
that's
see
our,
in our campground rules where it says it allowed 2 lake sites to be open for extended stays. I mean, when I read this, it says lakefront sites have
And if you go on the
14-day maximum
reservation-
stay.
and if you go on the reservation system, it says I believe it says for extended stays on the lake, contact Rachel or what?
It doesn't say
And we
14 days.
we
I
said-
mean, our rules say 14 days, the end.
Last month, we still agreed to the 14
The
days,
last-
2 sites at more than 14 days, we all agreed to that.
The rules before this stated that I had the option of doing 2 sites, and I agreed with the committee that we'd go no longer than 30 days on any of those 2 sites. So we wanted site 1, because it was paved and everything, would have a higher rate of turnover at 14 days. We would give everybody a chance to have a paved site sometime during the season.
Okay,
That's what,
I can understand that,
that's
but
what.
the 30-day thing, I don't.
Why can't we just stick with the rules we have here?
All right, when Lyle had someone reserve a lakefront, and if they wanted to stay another day or 2, if no one had already asked for that site for the next week, we allowed him to stay there a few days. If it was already booked, no.
That's not true, because I've had
No.
reservations here last month.
What she's saying is
but not-
true, but
Yes,
what you're
yes.
saying is there are exceptions to the rules and you brought the exceptions up.
Okay, okay.
So she's
She's
that's
legit.
accurate, and what you're saying is accurate also.
So we have two different standards.
No, no,
The thing is, we wouldn't have had this problem if the individual that was on site 12 last year would have been moved up to 40, and somebody else would have been moved down to 1. We had one site that had to be moved, because I took the site. That man was put up on top. And the individual that we're discussing here was put on 1. We got into this trouble because a individual made a decision without speaking to me.
I just wanna know why we're not going by this blue sheet here that we just approved last month. I mean, I understand the special circumstances
So
for this
then
person,
The
for this summer, but why?
Then from then out, there are no more than 14 days, you don't have the 2 at all.
That-
If nobody can stay
That's
more
right.
than 14
That's
days,
that.
That's right. You
If
eliminate
that's what you want,
then
that's
that's
fine.
a fix for it then.
You just eliminate it.
That's
question.
fine.
Can I reserve it 14 days for next year and then go on and reserve for the next 14 days and the next 14 days and the next 14 days?
no.
Yes, I can. I've been on the reservation
System
system.
can.
Yes, I
Because
can.
it doesn't.
This talk is on us. All I'm saying is you guys need to make some park rules, decide who's running the park, because honestly, I don't know who's running the park right now, the council or Lyle, and make some decisions and stick to them, because honestly, it looks silly. This park stuff has been going on, he's standing here, ask Sam, this has been going on for 3 years. You've talked about putting sites at the top of the hill for 4 years. You want to do it, I think it's a great idea. But man, make some decisions, do it and stick to them. Melissa, you have been around, the rules changed so many times in 1 year, we didn't even know what the rules were, is what I'm saying. I agree with you. If it's on the sheet, stick to them. But make rules as a council and stick to them and make sensible rules. I mean,
I
that's
thought we
all I'm
just did
saying.
that, I really
Because
thought we just did that, I thought that this was where we
But
were at, and I
there's a
don't
valid
understand
point- There's a valid
why.
point in this though. The reservation system does not defer person to person to person. It doesn't know that you made 2 back-to-back reservations.
That's
So you
That-
can go in and you can make 14 days now, and then make the next 14 days, and then make the next, you're gonna spend an extra $6 each time, but you can do it. No reservation will defer you from that. They don't allow it.
That-
The reservation system don't recognize it.
That is correct, just like we're getting people down there, we've got a 4-day rule on weekends. It's in there. We have 4-day rule on weekends. We've got numerous sites there taking up 1 or 2 days on weekends on the lake. And that's the characteristic that,
I think
I don't know how they did that.
If they're not paying 4 days, somebody's monkeying with the system.
So the
Yeah.
system,
No, the reason that happens is because if
We
somebody
don't-
calls in and there's only, somebody leaves on Friday and they come in on Monday,
we
and
sell,
there's only 2
we
days
sell a
to
site.
fill that position, and they call, and of course I'm
If
going to
it's
put
open.
them there for 2 days.
So that makes sense, that how that can happen.
Rachel or I do that,
Okay.
but there is a lot of them that come through that's made by Sunrise. And that's one characteristic of the computer. It just,
I'd have to look at that real close, that system, but I don't believe their rules will allow that. But their rules will allow you to make back-to-back reservation. So we put a 14-day rule, and this is,
And maybe that's
it's not
why-
an easy decision. You put a 14-day rule, how do you enforce that when they can go on our system and make it work?
The wife could do 1 week or 2 weeks, the husband could do 2 weeks, and actually they would be abiding by the 14-day rule.
And then they go back to husband do another 2.
So we just told them how to do it.
You're just, but it's,
But tell them
It's not-
14
it's
days
not that hard
and
to
no
figure out.
longer.
What is wrong with the person staying there all summer? I guess that's what I'd ask, is somebody listen to, what's wrong with a guy who comes and says, I'll pay full price for 90 days, here's your money. What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know, I don't think it's fair to the other people who may wanna stay in those.
Yeah.
that
Well, you just said you
spot.
kick a guy with a tent over the top of the hill because it's not fair to somebody else. And that's what I'm saying. See, I'm just sitting back here listening to it all. It's all over the board.
we've got this rule on the books, let's leave a little bit, this rule will be done with it.
I agree.
I've been through this, I don't wanna go through it again, I've had enough hassle down there. We have been pretty decent all this year, it's much easier than last year, let's leave it go. We got that 14-day rule, that's fine.
Okay, who's gonna contact this gentleman?
Well, that's my question. Are we, when Lyle just says leave it be, are we still allow a extended, 2 strikes extended, or are we saying no?
No.
None at all.
Myself, we gotta write down there 14 days, that'd be the easiest way to do it. We live this year through with what the reservations we got, we stick to that 14 days and be done with it.
So if someone comes up to you and asks, can I stay one more day, the 15th day, you say no.
No, if the site is free,
Site's
I would
If the
take
site's
and
free.
go,
Okay.
and then I would go with 16 days if the site is free.
I agree with Rick.
That he should have.
There's
Now, what happens when that one person does just like Ken was suggesting? Or you said, Rob, he makes a reservation 14 days, then his wife makes one for 14 days, then he makes another
I
14
think we
days.
should worry about that if it happens.
I think
That's
that,
gonna happen.
You know,
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna
I
happen.
think,
You know it's gonna happen.
I think
I
if
don't know,
that's,
are people really gonna try to shag the system like that? I mean, honestly,
Yes.
Many people will get what they
do we
want.
care if they're paying the rent, what do we care?
That's what Ken.
Yeah, nobody answered my question about what was wrong
Let
with
this
it.
guy worry about that, he's the one we're paying to take care of that down there.
if something like that happened there, I don't believe there's anything wrong with a manager going out and say, hey, you've already had your 14 days, if you want another lake site, you're gonna, spend another 14 days on the lake, you're gonna have to pick up and move to another.
That's your job.
That's what we used to do.
It's like Ken said, who's running the park, council or manager?
Lyle's running the park based on the blue sheet, right?
All right.
Is that, that's right,
He's gonna
right?
have
But he's
problems. We
also
can't
got the
think of everything,
discretion
so
of
we gotta
doing what is right,
Let him figure it out.
That's right.
and we are not giving him that discretion. Everybody's hollering at him, you can't do this and can't do that. We hired him to do the job, let him do the job.
Based on the blue sheet.
I agree with you, but I think you're gonna find people that will figure that way to go about it.
Well, it's gonna be on YouTube, so they're gonna all know it tonight.
You're gonna have a problem.
Video it out way back.
You're just gonna have to deal with it, that's.
That's right. If it becomes a problem, then he'll come back to us, but why should we micromanage what Lyle's trying to do down there?
It's-
14 days on one
If
site.
that's the way he wants to deal with it.
10 days, I gotta live with what we got this year
Yeah.
because I got.
Who's contacting this individual?
What are we gonna contact him to say?
Well,
We
they
can
asked
just
about-
respond to the email and say, no, it wasn't an oversight, thanks for asking.
There was an oversight, there is no two sites extended site.
Please refer to the blue sheet attached.
Okay.
But again,
It says no extension.
no,
Says
the
2
question
weeks
I asked
only.
was, who's gonna contact?
She's
this
gonna
individual?
respond.
She's gonna respond to the email.
She's gonna respond with the email and say, review the rules and attach.
Hasn't this guy been staying in the park a lot of years? Couldn't somebody go down and tell him in person, we're a small village of 900 people?
Well, that's true, but we want to have it in writing
You know what I
too
mean?
because
I'm
of
saying
that.
that, yeah, wouldn't it look good if
So
somebody
you
went
can
down and
respond in writing with the blue sheet
emails
attached,
can
so
get
we
quite
know that they have
confusing
it.
in what
and
you're
so
trying
we
to
can go
say.
down.
Let Rachel go down, have a
Exactly.
chat with them.
I tried that before and somebody else stepped in and did my job, so no. This time, if you want me to do it, you tell me,
I do it.
Okay.
and I will. Settle it? Good. I'll go down and tell him.
Moving on to action items. I don't believe we've accepted the bid for the park grant, if I recall. We did,
You did last meeting,
we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I guess what I did bring, like a quick intercede, the notice of intent to award, which I forgot to have you sign at the last board meeting.
Okay.
So I can read that with you, Rachel, if you want.
So park grant, letter A is a non-issue.
Correct, you
I
guys
didn't,
did.
I didn't
do it last
recall that we
meeting.
did.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
brush pickup,
Yes.
since our storm last Friday has created a lot more, Sam has suggested that we have another brush pickup for a week. So,
Have a date in mind,
Well,
Sam?
let's just make it a couple weeks from now and let Rachel put it on Facebook and we'll run with it.
Okay.
That sound good?
anybody have a problem with that?
Rachel, you pick a good week and do it. Couple
Okay, where are we
weeks.
at?
Garden Club has asked for $400 to continue to put flowers up in village. I wouldn't mind if they were perennials as opposed to annuals, so we wouldn't have to pay for them again. But I'm open to discussion, so.
Where do they wanna put these flowers? Garden clubs generally only works our outside flower beds. The one down here outside.
Where the signs are?
And where the signs are. So just where they're wanting to put the
No,
flowers.
they were asking for the chamber building.
So why aren't the chamber and the DD?
There, I don't think the no, the chamber building's fine. Chamber building's fine, the last time, no,
That's what Jeanette said, was to put it around the chamber building, so.
no.
Then I don't know what that's about.
Who
That's okay.
owns the chamber building? I'm not curious, if it doesn't
Well,
the village own it?
the village owns the property, but the home, the cabin was donated to the chamber. The chamber is what my understanding is.
The chamber owns.
The village owns the property.
Chamber owns the structure.
Who maintains it?
The village mows the lawn, the chamber pays the electricity bill.
I think the village.
Cleans it out.
100% of
Village
the
insurance
lawn.
can be allowed.
I think
Well,
the village owns the building too.
Let's get back to
But
the point
back to
here,
it.
$400.
But $400 to make the chamber cabin look better.
She
Is
said,
The
there,
chamber
is
is
there a problem?
The cabin was the Carries donated the cabin to the chamber, but I suspect that there's nothing written that says, here's a deed.
And nobody's
It
ever
was
taken the
set, it
chamber
was
out.
set
Don't get
up
me wrong,
when
I'm
Don
just saying.
Seifert was Chamber of Commerce president, when he was president of the village and president of the Lions Club, president of everything else in the village.
He
So,
So with all of that said, if the village technically owns it, why is the chamber paying for the electricity?
because you're using it. So,
Well, that's gonna be something that we'll be discussing in a future meeting.
Charge them for their insurance too, then. That's silly conversation. You guys are, it's annoying to hear all this piddly crap.
So
My
what,
God,
anyway, back to
$400.
flowers. Melissa, you were chamber president, correct?
Right,
So you're around the cabin put up.
yep. I just
What
wanted
do
to
you
plant
believe
the
needs to be
geraniums,
done?
I just put flower box flowers in. I don't know what more that they are talking about. I would not,
could we say we'd like to see
Money on it.
specifics?
yeah, something specific, because when they said, well, can we have 200 or 2,000 bucks and go down there and hack half the trees away, that was a little bit of a shocker to the people, so, yeah, I'd like to see what it is. I mean, whose decision is it? If it's technically the village property, then who is the chamber to say what happens down there? If you wanna go burn the building down.
Spent over our budget for flowers already,
Together.
and the
Well, I
chamber
get
don't
that,
want it
but
anymore.
that's not what
Why are
happened
we arguing
before,
about it?
someone came and did all this where the chamber really didn't have any say in it at all.
If they truly want them or need them,
We
then
say we've used our
we'll
budget.
discuss it.
Looking at the chamber cabin, I don't think we need anything more there than what's already there.
I'll make a motion that we postpone voting on this until we get a detailed plan.
support, been moved, supported, to postpone this until we get a detailed plan. All in favor of the motion? Opposed, motion is carried. Ice grant. Need a motion to approve to continue with part 2 of our ice grant.
I make the motion to approve to continue with part 2 of the ice grant.
I'll be talking to you later, Corey, thanks,
I'll support.
about what you're talking about.
Has been moved and supported to continue with part 2 of the ice grant. And as a part of that, hire Gordy Fraziers to help us in that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Anything else?
I don't have anything old business wise or anything public on there or any of that, but I do have a question for Bill.
I just want to say thank you.
We'll say,
I'm gonna go nice room.
Jennifer, our police department.
Thank you very much.
Oh, here, want to take enforcement. There's a question of, shipping containers and how do they fall in our zoning ordinance?
Shipping containers, storage buildings.
As there's currently one sitting on West Street behind Howard Street Apartments. And they won't fall under, an accessory shed structure ordinance, she's also much further to the tail of the wheels. So there's a concern, why is it able to sit there. The other one that I got, but it won't fit under our zoning, so it doesn't fit as a storage. So there's a zoning issue with it that needs to be looked at. And the other one was, how come when we have an ordinance against ORV in the downtown 4-block area, that we have 3-wheelers and side-by-sides blocking the sidewalks? It's something you can bring up when you have time. I'm just bringing it to your attention, so when you see, I haven't met the new guy yet, so that way it's off of me.
Well, I know what you're talking about.
Anybody have anything else? Need a motion to
I'll make a
adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
I'll second that one.
And motion support to adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all.
Okay, your
I will. He can't rebook in the same spot. It says maximum, he can rebook in the spot he wants.
So if he looks at, he pays more than this.
Then he gets his money back.
So now
It
what?
does say maximum stay, but
Sure, but why? And I'm gonna say this, because some of these guys play this.
I don't have
He
copies.
works, he gets
I just
14
have my
days.
copy.
She hooks.
If you wanna step down tomorrow,